Now, keeping with local conversations, Nigeria's economic crisis has worsened, making basic food items unaffordable for many. Food inflation has now hit an all-time high, with experts warning of no relief unless the government addresses insecurity to allow farmers to return to their farms. The National Bureau of Statistics' latest report confirms this dire situation, noting significant price hikes for essential foods like beans, bread, yam, and rice in August of 2024. Our Rice News analyst Dayo Sobowale joins us now to discuss a report on Nigerians struggling to feed as prices of staple foods soar to all-time high, and how to address this challenge and ease the suffering of the people. Good afternoon, Mr. Sobowale. Warm welcome to the program. Right. Now, I was, out of the corner of my eye, I could see your reaction as I was reading the story. But just to put things in perspective, there was another research that was conducted that stated that it now costs 1,300 minimum for an average Nigerian to feed each meal. So 1,300 just for one meal. Your take on all of these statistics?
Well, let me first of all say one thing. Things are going to get worse. The prices are going to get higher. But you see, Nigerians have a strong survival instincts. You look at Nigerians, they don't look like starving people. Go to the markets, they are brimming, they are full of fresh products, items, and people are there. But then, you see, statistics are statistics. I'm not saying the statistics are alarming or that they are false, but I'm saying that in spite of the statistics, you get me? You see food in the markets, the prices are high, but Nigerians are taking their living one way or the other. You see, why I said earlier that the situation is going to be worse is that the factors that make for high food prices have not been tackled by not only this administration, by successive past administrations in this country. You see, we have insecurity. That is major. That is major because if farmers abandon their lands, if flush chases farmers away from their lands, and then, you see, we have infrastructure deficit in this country. It's supposed to be 70% of our GDP, according to the United Nations statistics, but it's only 30%. That is one thing. Then you have insecurity, like I mentioned earlier, and you have high transport costs. You can see right now, government, maybe yesterday or so, CNG buses, they gave it to the unions of students and so on. And they say the cost of filling a tank maybe 17,000. With that, instead of 50,000, those things will come into fruition and change quality of life. But when you talk of food, you are the architect of our own misfortune in terms of economic insecurity. I will give one good example. The Lagdo Dam in Cameroon is always overflowing. And Nigeria and Cameroon have an agreement that they will build a dam in Cameroon and one in Nigeria. Cameroon has built its own. It's generating electricity for northern Cameroon, Garoua area, textile factory, and so on. We have not built ours since the 80s, up to now. The minister and the hydro water institution, they were warning people to keep out of the path of the flood. This is something that was agreed since the 80s. And that director was ready to clear himself, saying that our 10 administrations have been in the know about this, and they have not gone. Imagine if the buffer dam has been built to generate electricity, generate employment, to make us have food, but people are fleeing the path of things. And this thing flows into, the water goes into River Benue and Niger. You know, they go across the country. The water flows into the Atlantic Ocean through Bayelsa, passes through so many states and destroying so many things. So that's a leadership deficit. And that one, although that is man-made, the flow of the dam is man-made and and natural because it's seasonal. But we could have controlled the destruction it is doing, and we could have been able to get some economic benefit from it. You see, other countries don't do like that. Say Ethiopia and Egypt. You know the Nile? They say the Nile is the gift of the Nile, as if it is only Egypt that owns the Nile. It passes through so many countries. But when Ethiopia saw that it needed a dam to generate, it blocked it at one stage. So they are negotiating. They are almost at war here. But you imagine, if you have not had good relations with Cameroon, you will see an ecological, natural problem degenerating into geopolitical crisis. Get me? Although I think they are more friendly with us now than before, because we are negotiating with them on Bakassi, and they are very cooperative. But then, you see, you have leadership problems, you have man-made problems, you have insecurity problems, you have infrastructural problems. So that is why, if you don't take time, you will starve. But God forbid that we starve. Next.
I certainly appreciate the insight you brought into this, Mr. Sobowale. Even though you say that things are most likely going to get worse because of all these salient points, the issues that have not been tackled. So now I'm just when you look at all these issues like the infrastructure deficit, high transport costs, and then there's supposed to be a potential protest tomorrow for Nigerians that have had it up to here. And we're still getting calls from the government to shun protests and have patience. But I was asking him by that, what has really changed since the eve of the August 1st protests, and now it's the eve of the October 1 protests, in terms of action that we've seen from the government? We've not seen anything that is significant. So have we run out of patience, even though you do say that Nigerians have strong survival instincts?
I am not interested in the protest, if you are.
No,
I don't see anything important about the protest.
Okay,
See, it's a right. Mm-hmm. The protest is a right. It's a democratic right. Let them go on and protest. It is their right. If they are hungry, they are hungry. They have a right to protest.
I'm talking about government's pace and in addressing the issues that are causing the protests.
Look, the government is doing all it can, but they are not adequate. Mm-hmm. But we elected the government. The people deserve the government it has. So if people want to protest, they have every right to protest. Government has a right to protect them. You get me? Because protests are legitimate as long as they are not violent.
Yeah.
They are legitimate. But you see, there is nothing to run away from. Even this government is admitting that things, who spoke just yesterday? The president of the Senate, he's saying that this government will, at the end of the day, be the most prosperous that people will have. Those are the leaders you put in place. If they think things are okay, see, a government deserves, a nation, a government, a democracy deserves the leadership it has. And once they are elected people, you have to listen to them when they offer I won't say excuses, when they explain their policies. And you can see they are doing things. They are doing things. The Minister of Finance distributed buses. And on agriculture, they are trying. But if the floods come and wash away things, and if the farmers cannot work on their farms, that's government's business, not ours here.
Well, you've definitely handled your business today. We'd like to thank you for your insight. As always, Arise News analyst, Mr. Dayo Sobowale, thank you for joining us.